Really plain and simply, guys, we are going to be neutral today, and here's why. So if I jump out here to the daily time frame on NQ, this is where we are at. So what I am seeing is that we have this daily fair value gap right above price, but we also now have this daily fair value gap right below price. So what we are planning to do today is wherever we see price displacing towards after an internal sweep, whether it's buy side or sell side, we're going to look to play that move. I don't know which way price will want to go. Unemployment did come out as bearish for the indices, bullish for the US dollar. So that would be the only sort of bias that maybe could factor into any of this. But as of right this very moment in time, we've had about 30 minutes of market open. Market opened right here, went up, and then was watching price as we took out, these highs. Wanted to see if price would then, displace back down into the range and then continue down. We'll see. Maybe we'll still get that. All right, guys, I'm getting long right here in this gap. Stop below the low. Targeting daily fair value gap. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to get long right now with one contract. And then I'll add this other one on down here if it triggers. I just don't want to get left behind. And yeah, if I end up just being able to get this one contract off, I'm just going to let this get hit. Yeah, I guess at this point, I'm just going to have a stop below this low. Trade, sell stop. And I'm probably just going to let this thing run. I only got one contract on, so to me, it's looking like we're not probably giving it down here. I'm just going to trade it with that type of a mindset that we're not going to get to that candle. If we do, we're probably failing and going lower. Without choking the trade, I don't want to move it to a point where I'm going to get stopped out too, prematurely. Right. Once it hits the daily fair value gap, that's the only issue is now you've met a higher time frame bearish PD array. So any displacing price down tells you that it's a good chance that price will just continue to the downside at that point, which is the only reason that I would maybe just, even though it's only one contract, just take it off, because instead of clinging to the hope that we have a runner, I'd feel more confident, like, just, okay, now I'm anticipating a bearish PD array to form. So this would be that down close candle that tapped into that fair value gap. What we haven't been seeing this week, though, is we usually didn't even get that. We just see price go. So now what I would expect, if we're bullish, is that very least this should hold. This should support price. And if it doesn't support price, I'll get stopped at break even, and that's totally fine. But if this doesn't support price, then we may not continue bullishness. Therefore, I wouldn't want to really be in the trade anymore. I'm just gonna move this up so I can see my dollar amount, so I can get emotionally attached to the dollar amount and make an impulsive decision. So yeah, this is a winning trade. I didn't take it. If I took it on MetaTrader, I would have probably taken a little partial off by now, because I only got one contract on this. I don't have as many options. Yeah, it's the only down close candle, really, once you get above the 1 minute. So yeah, I'm most likely going to close once we tap into this. Do want to give it a chance to just see if we displace kind of through that high that created this gap. But if we look like we're kind of just teetering it after just kind of sweeping into it, I'm just going to close it and then wait for a potential bearish PD array to form. No, I get that, Justin. I was going to do two contracts. So for me, I'm like, it doesn't make sense for me to miss the trade completely. if I can put one contract on now, and then if we do get a little deeper of a pullback, add that second one on. I don't want to get stopped out early, so I'm going to put this back down here. Right in my entry. It might come back to this gap again. I don't really want to see that, but what I want to see is this support price, which I think it should. You have that gap, though. You have an inversion gap right here. I'm just pointing this out ahead of time. I mean, I do kind of feel bad that some of you guys missed it. But I can't, sit here and say with 100% conviction, like fire away an entry here, because that's not usually what I try to do either. So I wouldn't feel right like telling you, hey, enter there. Because if you enter here, I get stopped at break even here. You guys are now taking a loss, and that doesn't sit right with me. Because I know if I was on the other end and that happened to me, I'd be kind of annoyed. But yeah, one area of my trading that I've wanted to improve on, because it's been a mental block, and some people that have been with us for a bit, like they've witnessed this, where it's like in the past I wouldn't do what I did today. Like I would see it come to a level, like say my entry's like halfway through the gap, 50% consequent encroachment, but price only ever gives the beginning of the gap and then just flies to target, and I would just watch it go without me. So I wanted to improve that area of my trading to where I don't get just left behind in the dust with nothing. Might not matter here. Wow. 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 Look at that SMT coming to life for us. Sick. And I'm not going to re-enter. I'm not going to re-enter there at least. What I'm watching right now is this bearish fair value gap. Looks like it's holding. If we displaced right back through it, I wouldn't have mind using it as an inversion to target the same. It's just there's so little risk reward at this point to your target entering at these levels up here. But if this starts working down, man, probably gonna be better off waiting, not to get bearish, to be honest. Probably more so we can get I'll pull back into equilibrium or discount of this. You have an implied fair value gap here, which is basically when you see candles that look like this, which does line up with equilibrium and lines up with this high. Reaction of our original position. Do make decisions on SMC, but really like a trade when the retail stuff lines up too. I mean, listen, retail stuff is there for a reason. It's not like it never works. I think that's what that SMC traders have a problem accepting, is they just think that it never works and it's it's all garbage. That's not true. It's if it never worked, it wouldn't ever be marketed or used or whatever. Let's go. Jinx me. See if I give a shit. Yeah, so we'll let this run. Hopefully this can bring us to our point of interest now. Reasonings for the trade. We got another bullish break of structure to the upside. After tapping into this implied fair value gap down here. And nice fair value gap overlapping this breaker. So nice few confluences here. Let's see. ES. There's SMT at the lows as well here. Didn't see this ahead of time, just seeing it now. How high would this be? Yeah, I got one contract. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give this trader room. I'm gonna go below the SMT low. That'd be the lowest I would expect it to come down. And if that got taken out, to me, this trade would become invalid. Still almost a 1 to 2 all the way up here, so. Look with you guys. What do you do? I'll see what it would look like if we did go short here. But I'm just going to tape read it. Tape reading it because obviously if we're disrespecting bullish PD arrays, you could anticipate bearish PD arrays to respect, but is it a trade that I love enough where I would just put risk back on after this morning? Probably not. Looks like this did hold. Obviously, yeah, I would have preferred that low. These lows not ran out beforehand. This would have been. I probably, like, even if I was planning to get short here, I probably would have taken the trade off. Seeing this wick down and then come all the way back like that, I probably would have taken it off. If we can pull down in there a little bit. I'm going to get, one more pull down in. Okay. I went long right there, guys. Stop loss is going to go below here. So that's going to leave us this fair value gap open. It's going to leave us this breaker. This breaker is really our last line of defense. Last trade of the morning, obviously, no matter what. Just doing one contract here. Like, fuck me, I guess. All right, so minus 16 points there. And almost got there 3 points away and just couldn't get the rest of the way there, unfortunately. So, yeah, guys, I'll leave it at that. If you guys have any questions on anything, obviously, or anything you want me to take a peek at in the Discord, feel free to tag me or drop a message in there. Looks like oil did not make it down there yet, so there's nothing to worry about there. And I will be having my eyes peeled for PM session and see if there's something that we can capitalize on. But either way, it's the last day of August, and I can happily say that we'll be turning the page and getting out of this month. So a little bit of a mental cleaning of the slate, so to speak. And we'll be on from there. But enjoy the rest of your guys this Thursday. If you guys need anything, reach out, and I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk soon.